trapped beneath the forest's weight. It was a crisp autumn morning when I decided to head deep into the forest to cut down a few trees. The golden light danced through the branches, and the silence was almost meditative. It wasn't my first time working alone, but this time something felt different. Though I brushed off the unease, I didn't tell anyone exactly where I was going, assuming I'd be back before sunset. The first few hours went smoothly. I worked methodically, cutting and stacking the wood. But then came the fateful moment. I miscalculated the fall of a large tree, and before I could react, it came crashing down, pinning me underneath its massive weight. The sharp pain in my chest was immediate, and I couldn't move my legs. Panic set in as I realized I was entirely alone, with no one knowing where to find me. The first night was the longest of my life. As darkness enveloped the forest, the temperature dropped sharply, and the silence was broken only by the rustling of leaves and the eerie howls of distant animals. I could hear the padding of paws nearby. Wolves, perhaps, or scavengers drawn by the scent of my sweat and blood. My only weapon was a small hatchet within arm's reach, but lifting it sent waves of agony through my broken ribs. Hunger gnawed at me, and thirst quickly became unbearable. I found myself licking the condensation off leaves within reach, a humiliating but necessary act of survival. By the third day, delirium began to set in. Shadows played tricks on my eyes, and I swore I could hear whispers in the wind. The animals grew bolder. A fox sniffed at my boots one night, and on another, a large bear lumbered close, its heavy breaths filling the air. My heart pounded so violently that I thought it would burst. Yet somehow it left me alone, perhaps deterred by my motionless state. By the seventh day, I had given up hope. My body was weak, and the pain was all-consuming. I drifted in and out of consciousness, haunted by memories of my wife, the life I might never return to. Then, on the 8th day, I heard it, a faint voice calling my name. At first, I thought it was another cruel hallucination, but the voices grew louder. My wife had organized a search party with the help of the local community. When they found me, her sobs of relief were the first human sounds I'd heard in over a week. It took hours to free me from the tree, but miraculously, I survived. Despite the ordeal, my injuries were limited to broken ribs and a concussion. No major organs were damaged, and my recovery was swift. The lesson learned. This experience changed me. I realized the importance of taking precautions, of letting someone know where you'll be, and not underestimating nature's power. I was lucky this time. Now, every step into the wilderness is taken with reverence and respect.